All right, good morning, crypto fam. How we doing? All right, guys. So we've got Bitcoin pumping a bit. For some weird reason, my voice is really raspy today and kind of cutting in and out. I'm not sure. I feel better though, so we're gonna get this live going and see what is happening here. So New York is obviously pumping the market a bit. We can see a couple massive candles coming up here. We'll talk about the bearish divergence in a bit because right now the bearish divergence does not interest me until the 4-hour candles close, but there is some bearish dive coming into play. Here you can see that Bitcoin broke trend, and now we broke trend again to the upside. So here actually you can see Bitcoin broke trend. And right here, Bitcoin broke trend as well, clearly didn't manipulate and is distributing. So if we look at Tokyo last night previously, guys, we can see that Tokyo faked out and manipulated. That is what Tokyo did. It faked out and manipulated, and it pumped, and then it had a pretty big drop, or massive drop, if you will. Okay. So now we can see New York is distributing, possibly. It looks like it is a bit of a distribution session, but the problem with this is that this is a mega pump after the first hour after New York. So for me, we're not trading this, right? We got stopped out of our trades in profit. Everything is looking good. What? Oh, that was weird. Okay. So everything is looking good, guys, and you can kind of see the market pumping. Now, again, the overall trend is down in the market, and we are completely overbought. But what you're going to notice now is you're going to notice some bearish divergence kicking in here on the 1-hour time frame, which means that there's a possibility after this 4-hour candle, this stochastic RSI turns down from this previous high, because now we just reached a higher high. If you're looking at Bitcoin, we're having a massive, and I mean massive pump, mega pump. Now this is a pump, okay? Where's the stop loss on shorts? There is no stop loss. Shouldn't be shorting. Stop loss in profit at this point. So when you're in trades, make sure you're in a stop loss in profit. I was in a Bitcoin short. I'm out this morning, stop loss in profit. I was in a Dogecoin short. I'm in profit. So on a pump like this, you should get stopped out and you shouldn't be shorting. Now I know I was running no stop loss on the previous trades to a loss, but then this morning I ended up getting out. There's no point of staying in a trade when you break out, right? But if I ever run no stop loss on trades, guys, all I'm doing is I'm running no stop loss on the trade if I'm losing. However, if I get into a win, I am 100% putting a stop loss on that trade all day. Because if I don't put a stop loss on that trade and I'm in a win, then there's a possibility that I'm going to lose that trade. For example, Dogecoin, right? We were in a short on Dogecoin. Dogecoin dropped a bit here. Now you're getting a decent size pump on Doge, right? So basically, if I'm running no stop loss and a loss, I'm running no stop loss. That's the reality. But if I'm in a win, I'm going to set a stop loss and profit. And right here, we're in a win. We set our stop loss, got stopped out. I probably won $100. Like, I didn't win anything too crazy on Doge. Bitcoin was a nice short though. So I am crypto trading. Basically, if I'm running a no stop loss on a loss, I am going to basically stay in that trade, and I'll update people. If I'm in profit, it is your job to set a stop loss and profit, or anyone's job to set a stop loss and profit. At that point, when you're in profit, and it doesn't matter, or you just set it to break even. But like, for example, last night, we got in a trade, a short here, right? And I guess I'll have to announce that for all the new people, but it should be kind of, so for example, Bitcoin broke out, where was it? Oh, that's Doge. Bitcoin broke out right here. We're in a loss. We're running no stop loss. Well, Bitcoin broke and went all the way down here, 65K. That is a 1-2. So if you're running no stop loss, that would be, I don't know, a 1-3, I guess. Yeah, that would be like a 1-3 or 1-4 trade. At that point, if you come all the way down and Bitcoin is dropping and you're in profit, you want to set your stop loss in profit, because if you do not, you're going to get wrecked. If you're just riding a trade, no stop loss and no stop loss in profit, you're taking back your wins, right? And you don't want the market to take back your wins. Now, if you're in a loss, that's a completely different situation, because then you're looking at, like, for example, if I'm in a loss here, you should show everyone the profits from the trades, make us feel better. Absolutely. I've been showing everybody the profits. So if you go to beastlimitless.com, all my trades that I'm in, I show, right? Now I'm on funded account, keep in mind. But if you go to my activity right here, here's 1900. If you go to this one right here, here's a $1,500 trade. It shows the sell, it shows the buy, right? But if I'm asleep, I can't really show the stop loss in profit because I'm getting out when I'm asleep, right? So I'm going to say that now to everybody, guys. I feel like this should be very, very simple. But if I ever say take a stop loss off, non-financial advice, you got to protect your own capital, and we are in a loss, that makes sense, okay? And if you lose the trade, you lose the trade. It is what it is. But if you're in a win and you take your stop loss off, why wouldn't you put your stop loss back, right? Because where were we shorting Bitcoin here? Around 66.8. It dropped all the way down to 65.2. So that should be, in my personal opinion, self-explanatory that, yeah, you should 100% have a stop loss in profit when you're in profit. But if you're in a loss, then you're kind of just risking it if you're looking at taking your stop loss off. The only reason I said take your stop loss off last night was because I seen that we had bearish divergence. So if we're looking back at this play right here, I'm not in any trades right now, guys. I'm letting New York sift it out, and then I'll be shorting the top. But here you can see that this region right here in Tokyo, you had bearish dive. So why would I keep my stop loss on if I keep seeing it's wicking up to the previous high right here with bearish divergence? There's no point, right? I'm not going to keep my stop loss on because I'm going to keep on getting wicked out. I lost the first trade. I went back into the second trade. And then finally, closer to London, we ended up dropping, right? Now, Dogecoin short was going good last night, right? Dogecoin short was going really, really good last night. But again, where did we get into the trade? We got into the trade somewhere around here, Tokyo. It dropped, okay? And if you're looking at your percentage, that is a 1-2. If you're running no stop loss, well, that's a 5x. That's a 1. That's a pretty much 1 to 10 trade because you're running no stop loss, right? So food for thought and rule of thumb. If I ever say take a stop loss off, I don't mean take a stop loss off and wait till your trade goes back to negative. I mean set a stop loss and profit. All you're doing is you're taking the stop loss off to add room for wicks, okay? So moving forward for people to know. And we will be doing training sessions on stop losses, guys, because that's a whole nother story. But yeah, sure, the market's pumping. You got a big 4-hour candle here. I'm going to call this a liquidation candle. You have bearish divergence, and you're going to have bearish divergence in the market, by the way. Call it what you want. If you think we're bullish, I guess we're bullish. I see otherwise. I see different. But if you think we're bullish, sure, we're bullish, right? But it's the same thing. Bearish dive is now coming into play here. Maybe it's coming into play, or a double top. So I'm not trading this, but what I am looking for is I'm looking for a dynamite short, because what happens when you get a big pump? This is called a rising, ascending, whatever you want to call it, channel, wedge. Once we break this, well, we're probably going to come back all the way back down here. So it is a new month. Made some money on my Bitcoin short the second time. Made some money on the Dogecoin short. And now what we're doing is we are waiting for we are waiting for the market to decide. And if you go right here, what's the next area where Bitcoin is pumping to? Well, so if you look at the next area, you're looking around 70K-ish on the 4-hour. If you're looking at the 1 hour, well, you're looking at this wick right here. And I'm pretty sure everybody can see this as manipulation. If you can't see this as manipulation, I don't know what to say. It is just a massive pump, right? If you look right here on the 1 minute time frame, it doesn't interest me. Why am I going to get in this move when I know we broke trend? Okay, we broke trend. We have bearish dive. I'm not going to short it. I'm not going to be dumb and short it because we haven't broke the trend in the actual RSI. But all of this is just a New York pump and dump, really. Like, it's kind of what you're looking at right there. The 1 hour time frame is moving up, which is fine. So if we look at our 1 hour, we can see it moved up, touched the top here, broke out, hit, touched, made a second point right here, and then pumped. However, this pump is very, very strong. It's top of bottom RSI in the 50 all the way to the top. Right? Do you think that's going to withstand? Could. Anything could happen. And yes, the blood moon is coming up for sure. It definitely is, right? So basically what I'm looking at is looking for this 4 hour candle, see where it finishes. I know we got a wick up here, right? Massive wick up here. And that is probably where we're going to pump to, is this wick right here. Craig, how you doing? Bob, how you doing? GPIM Crypto Trading, Tim, APG, PC, Argyle, White. I'll shut all you guys out, but apparently my voice is just being weird this morning. So thank you guys all for coming on the live. But guys, you can see that Bitcoin has bearish dive right here. So we've been overbought in that 4 hour time frame. And we've been remaining overbought. Now we just got to wait till this 4 hour candle closes, and then we're going to see where Bitcoin finishes off. All right. Slack, how you doing? So we will take a couple look at low caps. By the way, Bitcoin did break the trend. So if you guys are in a long, we did break the trend on the 1 minute. Now we're just forming pretty good bullish divergence or bearish divergence. But we did break the trend on the 1 minute time frame, guys. All right. So now we're just waiting for this 4 hour here with this bearish dive. Let's go check XRP. If you guys are making money on Beast Limitless trading, guys, 444 in the comment section below. XRP pumped right to the top of that resistance right here. literally right to the top. And again, you can see that big pump here on XRP. And well, now it broke. So now you're looking at probably XRP coming back down to about 130. At some point, you're just really waiting for that candle to finish. Anytime you guys got a trend line like this on the 5-minute, I'll show you guys right now. This trend line on the 5-minute right here. If you've got actually, whatever, 3-minute, 5-minute. If you've got a trend line right here, this is pretty much showing you that this is a pump and dump. So where's this? Where's the bearish divergence? So pretty much what you're looking at right here is you're looking at this point to this point right here. So here to here is a high and a high, and here to here is a lower high. So you're pretty much lining up this RSI to right here and this to right here. So boom, boom, lower high, higher high. That is on the 1 minute. You're not going to really see it on the 15-minute too much. But if you look at the 4-hour, if you look at the 1 hour, you are going to see it, because this RSI peak, this MACD peak, is smaller. Is lower than here. So if you actually look right here, this MACD is going to flip around. And you've got bearish divergence from 67.5 or whatever that is, 68, all the way to about 69K. Because I'm pretty sure this MACD is not going to come back above this previous peak on the KND on the MACD. So sure, we're pumping. Absolutely, we're pumping. But this is just going to be lining up for a dynamite short. Dynamite short. Good morning, Steven. How you doing? And one more thing is too, guys. Again, if you look at the 800 SMA right here, we are getting very, very close to it on the 1 hour time frame. So this is your 800 SMA right here. Getting very, very close to it. So there's a possibility we do pump up to that 800 SMA, right? But I am waiting for a short. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to reverse. I'm also waiting for that MACD to cross. I'll be real with you guys. I'm not going to take a trade at this point until we get that cross on the MACD. On the 15-minute time frame. I was thinking the 1 hour time frame, but I already know this is going to probably drop all the way back down to about 67K. So it's a tough one. You can even short it at the break here. You can pretty much short it right now if you want, right? Because it broke, or it's breaking the trend. It's trying to break the trend. So this would be a good short if you can manage your leverage, right? Because it's breaking the trend. You can see the 1 minute already broke the trend. Boom. You can see the 5-minute is about to come down, very, very overbought. But I would probably wait to the 4-hour candle closes for the reversal. Because now, actually, if you look at this channel, we're kind of in a channel here. I guess we're in a channel. So looks like the top on Bitcoin at the moment is going to be about 69.8. 69.8 should be the top on Bitcoin. I'm waiting for BTC to hit 76. That is an optimal price target if Bitcoin breaks right here. The problem is we're kind of in a little bit of a channel. And I know you guys are wanting these liquidity grabs, and we kind of got it, but I'm going to be real with you. We did break the trend, and we hit the top here. So 70K could be possible. But if I was going to go short, guys, I would be short around right here. Just personally myself. I'm not really paying attention to candle action. All I'm paying attention to right now is the top of the channel. It keeps on playing the channel. So we've got that channel right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the channel, right? It's pretty simple. And if we look at Dogecoin too, if we look at Dogecoin too, now we got another channel on Doge where we didn't hit the top, but we're faking out at the conversion line. Altcoins are not bullish, right? Altcoins are not bullish. Bitcoin is not bullish. I'm just giving you guys how it is. I'm giving it to you guys how it is. There's going to be a lot of wicks and stuff like that. So we've got bearish dive on Doge. So now Doge is pretty much going to come all the way back down to the bottom here. And I would be looking for a short on Dogecoin. Honestly, in this area, low leverage, guys, 5x, right? Like low leverage, super low leverage. But Dogecoin has now broken the trend. And I believe even here it broke the trend too. Right? So even here it broke the trend too. Now, again, on this 4-hour close, you're going to have a little bit of momentum here. There's a possibility Dogecoin could pump up to 9.9. Possibility. But it did break the trend. So kind of broke the 1 minute, kind of broke the 5 minute. Now that Bitcoin broke the trend, it looks like Bitcoin is going to range here from this 69K to about 69.5. And then possibly drop after this 4-hour candle. Where I will be bullish in the market is going to be, and this is where I'm going to be bullish, guys. I'm not longing nothing anymore until Bitcoin breaks this. And I don't even know if I'd long then. We'll see. But until Bitcoin breaks right here. So again, we're in the downtrend. We can see we got a huge rounded bottom. However, we're in the downtrend right here. So Craig is right. Bitcoin could hit 72K or more. But in the shorter term, we've got this little macro channel or micro channel. And actually, I have to line that up perfectly. Bitcoin almost hit the top. So the top is about 69.8, and then we come all the way back down, or that is what we're looking at. Could it pump up to 70K? I don't want to say no because anything could happen. If it pumped up, 70,006 would probably be my top. 70,005 would be the next level, but there are a lot of sells in this area right here. But yeah, it looks like we are about to just drop. This is looking like a big manipulation pump for the open of New York. Now, would I be shorting Bitcoin here? No, probably not. I'd probably be shorting Bitcoin around here or wait for that 15 MACD to cross down. Once we get that 15-minute MACD crossing down, we got more confirmation. However, we did break that 1 minute trend. So I like Doge though. Doge is my bread and butter. Doge is going to be the best trade of 2026. I could promise you guys that. If you want consistency, Dogecoin all day. It doesn't really fake out. Look at this, guys. We're in a downtrend market, okay? A lot of altcoins are faking out. Obviously, we had a bit of a pump today. But look at Dogecoin. Broke out of this falling downtrend, okay? wicked back down to the trend line and pumped. Now you broke this uptrend, and now you're kind of doing nothing. This is a recipe for a major success play in trading because there isn't too much volatility after it breaks trend. As long as you manage your leverage, there's not much volatility, which means I'd be shorting Dogecoin right around here. If you're not a short, 5x, right? 5x short on Dogecoin. If it breaks here and starts pumping, you lose very little, and then you get in at the top. But if it doesn't, and it starts dumping right here, you make a whole heck of a lot of money. And then if you look at your 5x trade, say you get a short right here, you get a stop again, that's 5x. You're easily hitting a 1 to 4, 1 to 5 trade on Dogecoin. All right, can you look at NEAR? NEAR for sure. NEAR, what is NEAR doing? NEAR's been the NEAR's actually ripping off a nice rounded bottom here. NEAR at 131 is pretty fun. I'll just look in the smaller time frame because these larger time frames don't really interest me right now. So there is some bearish dive on NEAR, which is looking like a good short. But here's the channel you're forming on NEAR, which means that you're going to most likely pump to around 140. 4 hour just finished. Good stuff. Good stuff. Retracement here. Yeah. So you're probably going to pump to about 137 on NEAR, possibly. I would say about 140, 137 on NEAR protocol. You do have some bearish divergence coming into play right here on the 4 hour time frame. Your 4 hour MACD is pushing right up. Okay, so 4 hour just closed. The trend broke on BTC. Four hours at the top. Moving up, 15 minutes overbought. 5 minute is coming down. 1 hour, 1 minute is going up. Yeah, so this should be the top. Here's the 1 minute now breaking the 50%. The 50% is going to be a prominent area on your 1 minute. Reason being is because when you're above it, you're bullish. When you're below it, you're bearish. So if you're breaking your 50%, 5 minute is coming right down overbought. So I would say this is probably going to range more than anything in this area than necessarily dump. And the reason being is because you've got a big fair value gap here. But there's a possibility we kind of whittle away into the close of New York. We've got a big fair value gap in that area. So I would say we're going to range for a bit. That fair value gap and you're still moving up on the 1 hour time frame means that Bitcoin is just probably going to chill, pump from about 68.8 to about 69, even possibly 69.8, because I believe it didn't hit the top of the channel. So if you look right here, let me look one more time. Yeah, you know what? Bitcoin actually could push up all the way back here, guys, because we never hit the top of the channel. So that's 69.8. We never hit that wick. We finished close, right? Again, I'm not trading this, but you want to line up that wick with right here. Now, we did break the 1 minute uptrend. Keep that in mind. So we actually never back tested this channel as well either, or the break. So that would be about 69.8, 69.7. I'm not seeing the 4 hour bearish divergence in the chart. So basically, what we're looking at here is, so the first thing is a couple things. If you look at this channel now, it might not play out, okay? Might not play out. But right now you have a high right here and a low right here. That is bearish divergence at the moment. That is high, and you're going off the body close, right? So you're going here to here. That's bearish dive. The body wick right here. You're also looking at the previous you're also looking at this previous high right here. Your stochastic RSI is higher than your peak right here on your KND. Again, that is also bearish divergence. However, it could be invalidated if we break that high. And that's why I'm not paying attention too much to it right now, because if we break that high, we're going to pump. Like, that's the reality of it, right? So yeah, you can see this area right here, guys. You can see that we're about to touch this wick, and I would say Bitcoin comes up to it. That would even be that 70K 69.8 target. Then I would expect it to drop because we already broke the trend. So we're just looking for it to form bearish divergence, really. But again, I'm not trading this. I'm waiting to see what the market does. Now, if we look at our 8 hour time frame, 18 hour, I mean, and this peak to right here. So if this 18 hour pumped all the way up to here, and we had an 18 hour close, and the 18 hour was lower than that high, well, then again, you're going to have bearish divergence. So there's a lot of question marks until the daily closes. But we are moving up now on the daily. The KND flipped again when we were dropping, it flipped. So we got to see what happens after the 18 hour. Yeah, I would say this would be a good short area, but 69.8 would also be a good short. We already broke the trend right here. So the trend's broken. Now you're kind of just forming bearish dive. Man, I swear my chart keeps on going crazy. Okay, Doge. Yes, we get it. Doge is pumping. What is Doge doing? It's probably going to go to an about 9.7. See if it broke that. No, it broke the 1 minute trend, I believe. Yeah, it did. Oh. Hit that like button if you have not, guys. Let's run up the live. Let's see. So here's the channel we need to break if Bitcoin is going to become truly bullish. We would need to break this channel right here, which is, there's your bearish dive on your 1 minute, but that would be about 69.8. Let's put parallel channels to the test and see if we reject or we break out. If we break out, that's fine. It is what it is. We break out, then we are bullish in the shorter term. Then you know Bitcoin's going to push up. But we did break the actual trend on the chart. So I'm curious to see if we invalidate and we break out and we continue back up. And now here you're looking at lower highs being formed on your 1 minute time frame. Will we break it or will we drop? All right, guys, hit that like button, smash up that like button. I appreciate everybody for joining the live. Could I check out ZBCN for sure? So ZBCN, I know you guys like your ZBCN. It did break out, I believe. Yeah, ZBCN broke out. Daily is looking okay. We'll see if those parallel channels play out, guys. If they play out, great. If they don't, if it doesn't, then that means we are probably bullish for the shorter term. Okay, I'm going to look at ZBCN in the shorter time frame because, again, these longer time frames just don't play out. They don't. Longer time frames, you can just, yeah, they aren't. So ZBCN's on a little uptrend with some bearish dive on the 1 minute. The 15 minute. $15-minute time frames overbought on ZBCN. You also have a little channel here forming. So you're looking at this this chart. You're looking at about 0021803. Front running blood moon or fake out coming until it occurs. Looks like BTC wants to keep going. The 4 hour still has room to run. Yes, correct. The 4 hour does have a lot of room to run on the RSI. So that is the caveat to this. If you look at the 4 hour, so ZBCN right here broke out before I go back to Bitcoin. Now you're kind of in this channel right here, but I believe it broke the channel. So it did break the 5 minute. It did break the 1 minute. And now you're kind of waiting for ZBCN to reset. I would say it pumps up to this area and then well, if it breaks here, you're going to get a nice pump for sure. But just, I would say play that channel first until it breaks out. It did break the uptrend though. So what Craig is talking about is, guys, I'm not numb to figure out, okay, if we drop, we drop. But if we pump, we pump. If there's a bearish or a bullish scenario, here it is. The 4 hour has not hit the top of the RSI. This is extremely bullish, even though we are in a downtrend market, shorter term, because We hit the bottom, but we never hit the top. Typically, before you go back to the bottom, you're going to hit the top. Now, because we've been in a downtrend market, you don't just hit the top like that. You kind of wave like this, wave like this. And that is essentially what the 4-hour time frame is doing. The only thing I don't like is because Bitcoin broke the uptrend. So it's a wild card. Honestly, I'd be shorting around right here. If it breaks, I'd probably get out. Until Bitcoin breaks this channel to the upside, I'm not gonna at all look for a long. And if Bitcoin does break out for whatever reason, then I'm possibly gonna look for a long. But even if it broke out, you're probably looking at a fake out actually, because your 5 minutes right at the top. So no long. I'm short. I'm short right here on Bitcoin. And I'm short on Dogecoin. Now, because we hit the top. So Dogecoin short, bearish dive. Bitcoin short, bearish dive. If we break that channel, guys, I will get out. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. If we break this channel, I'm out and I'll look for a new entry, and I will 100% take a loss. I will not stay in this trade if we break the channel. That is just dumb. The only thing I don't like about this short at the moment, well, there's not too much I don't like. If you look at the 1 minute, we are in a downtrend here. So Dent, Mon. Okay, let's look at Mon. I want to stick to the large caps in the sessions for New York, but we'll look at those. So Mon is breaking the conversion line. You're on an uptrend here. You do got some bearish divergence forming, but it isn't going to play out until it's above 2.2. Again, I'm only looking at lower time frames. Now the daily is going up, which is really, really good. I would say it's a possibility that Mon could push up all the way to here at about 2.3. Big possibility. Big possibility. But you're overbought in the 5 minute, and I do believe you broke the uptrend here in the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, so you did break the uptrend on the 1 minute time frame. A little bit of bearish dive. Your 5 minutes kind of holding up. I could see Monad pumping to about 2.2, definitely 2.2 in that area right there. I could see a pump in about 2.23, the top here. If it holds, great, but it did break the uptrend, so we're probably going to form that bearish dive and come back to maybe around 2.1-ish area. Okay, let's look at this 4-hour time frame here. 4-hour time frame. So if you look at the 4-hour time frame on, or not 4-hour time frame, 5-minute time frame. Yeah, so you're pretty much now in a downtrend on Bitcoin, guys. That's pretty much what you're doing. So we hit my 69.7. We didn't even hit 69.8. Let's take a look at whatchamacallit, the total crypto market cap. Okay, so obviously the total crypto market cap had a really big pump. And if we look right here, so I could see, yeah. So again, we have bearish divergence forming on the whole crypto market cap. Basically, you have a point right here. You have a high right here. You have a high right here. You have a low right here, low right here. Unless this breaks back above the previous high in the MACD, anything could happen. But I can see this possibly pump into the top here. And then dropping. So pretty much in the next couple of hours or even after the 18-hour close, I see the 1 hour flipping, and then I see you have bearish divergence. And if that is the case, I see it coming all the way back down to here. If for whatever reason we break out of this channel, then we got to completely reevaluate the whole market. But I'm not going to even talk about that until we head to the top. Now, it's kind of funny how the blood moon is coming up and we're forming bearish divergence all over the market, right? All over the market, guys, with the blood moon. All right. So the 4-hour close is done. New York is going to settle a bit. Now, again, guys, the 1 hour is moving up, okay? Which means there's going to be a bit of uptrend momentum. Once this 1 hour, though, is overbought, and once we cross down on our 15-minute MACD, then I would say we're definitely going to be safer to short. Now, I'm short right now on Bitcoin. I'll be honest with you guys, at about 69.5. But if we break this area right here, I'm out and I'm going to reevaluate. I'm telling you guys that right now. If you're taking this short, you got to keep in mind, as soon as we break this and start pumping, I'm out. I'm going to reevaluate. If you want to be extra cautious and not be in a loss, then I would wait for your 15-minute MACD to settle and cross down. And I would wait for your 1 hour to flip around and settle and cross down and play out that bearish divergence. Otherwise, we're just going to range with people buying up Bitcoin and stuff like that. So it's a possibility we break out. If we break out, that's fine. Obviously, we can see a pump in a bit here, but and my stop loss, for those of you that are wanting to know, would be literally outside of the channel. Like if it breaks out right after the live and starts pumping past here, I'm out. I'm going to take a small loss. I'm going to reevaluate, and then I'm going to look at where my next resistance is, which would be around this area. So actually there's a possibility Bitcoin just hits this high, completes that bearish dive, and then comes back down. Now, if we break right here, guys, which is this top, and start pumping, then we are going to go on a massive pump, and we're pretty much going to hit, well, that 70,005 target. So I'm not dumb to show you guys that, hey, Bitcoin could pump all the way up to here too, which is, what is that? 70,005, which is pretty much what Craig was saying, right? So we'll see. It might break out. And if it does, great. That means we're bullish in the shorter term. Okay, guys, that's all I got for everybody today. Hit that like button, smash that like button. We will see you guys tonight on the Tokyo Live around 8 to 8:30 p.m. CST. So we do got a Tokyo Live today. Don't be trying to go high leverage on this market. Don't be thinking you know this market, because right now I wouldn't be going high leverage long and I wouldn't be going high leverage short. I would only be doing 10 to 15x. And if you're in Dogecoin, if you're in low caps or mid caps, I would only be doing 5x as well. Let's see, 5. Yeah, so you're in a downtrend on the 1 minute. But anything could happen, right? And that 1 minute is going to play out over the higher time frames. Keep that in mind. We'll see. Is this the top of the channel? It looks like it, but you do got 34 minutes left in this candle. Ooh. Shout out to all the people on the live, guys. We'll see you at the Tokyo session tonight, which is about 8 to 8:30 p.m. CST. And yeah, I thank you guys for joining the live. And if you guys are ending up shorting it and making profit from it, share your wins. And if it breaks out, get out and don't hold it.